Hello, hello. Hey, Facebook. Hey, Instagram. All right. So, just making sure we are live, which I think we are. Okay. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, today I'm going to be talking to you about the difference between being a coach and being a consultant. There is some confusion in the industry, and people use these terms interchangeably. So today, what I really want to do is clear up things a bit and have a little bit of a discussion about it. So please feel free to drop your questions and your comments into the chat. We can discuss them here live if you're live, or we can also have a discussion during the replay. So drop those comments or questions. So the question between the differences between a coach and consultant came up to me in a clubhouse room, actually. And I provided an in depth explanation for both. And I think ultimately people are using the terms interchangeably because they don't understand the difference. Number one, they don't want to call themselves coaches. Number two, so first, let me just start out by saying be who you are. So, like, be who you actually are. If you're a coach, you're a coach. If you're a consultant, you're a consultant. So, if you're coaching, you are a coach. If you're consulting, you are a consultant. So, let's dive into the definition of a coach because today we're really going to break down the role of a consultant, actually. So, a coach in the traditional sense is someone who empowers others by helping them meet and exceed goals in both their personal and professional life, right? So, hey there. In many cases, um, I feel like coaches, they don't exactly tell the person exactly what to do, but they provide guidance along the way, empowering the client to actually make their own decision, right? So now you may be wondering about the coaches, like do actually give the steps to help their clients achieve something? Well, that's where I think the role of a strategist actually comes into play. That's why I call myself a business coach and a brand strategist because in my program, the Brand Builder Blueprint, I am actually giving people the exact steps to find their clients, the exact steps to building out their signature program and offers in their product suite, the exact steps to constructing their sales funnels, and the exact steps of what to do on each social media platform in order to get clients, right? So I'm giving you the exact steps, not just be there, but actually like what to do. So then now you're probably wondering, like, what the heck is a consultant, right? So, well, a consultant in the traditional sense typically works with the executive office, so like C suite executives, or maybe even other members of that particular company or organization in order to affect change, right? Consultants can be hired in a lot of different niches, right? Pretty much any niche you can coach under, you can also consult under. So some include IT, finance, HR, business strategy, processes, proposal writing, grant writing, you name it, there pretty much is a consultant for everything. Hey there. So the consultant will come and they will observe, analyze, a company's or a nonprofit's current state, typically. Write a proposal to remedy the challenges that the company is facing, and then work with that company to solve the problem. So you see consultants most commonly in like process improvements. So like Six Sigma, agile project management, human resources. Like I said, it really could be anything. Consultants typically become most profitable based upon the length of their engagement with a company. Okay. So a lot of people are calling themselves consultants, but they're really coaches, and vice versa. So I think it's because online service providers are typically small companies. So you're really only working with like typically one individual, and it ends up being more of a coaching role than it does consulting. Consultants can actually do the work typically to fix the problems of the organization, and or they can work with the organization team members to do this, or they can have some kind of a hybrid situation. I've seen it all different ways. So when I work with consultants and we work on their signature program, there are some key components that need to be included. First, zone of genius, right? This is the area of focus for the consultant, right? The niche, the rules of engagement, and renewal, right? So these are kind of similar to what a coaching signature program would look like, just a little bit different for a consultant. So with the Zone of Genius, similar to coaches, this is going to be the area that you're going to consult in, like that you have the knowledge, training, skill set, expertise, and certifications. If you want to play in the corporate and government contracting space or government spaces, certifications mean a lot more, as they have national recognition and companies look to have like certain processes certified for their own profitability. So this includes things like project management and having a project management office, like helping them set that up. Agile project management, Scrum, Agile, Kanban, those are all IT related certifications, human-centered design, human-centered service design, Six Sigma, ISO 9000, Gallup Strength Finders. There's so many, guys, that a consultant could have and also utilize to certify other individuals or the company as a whole, right? So many different things. So be sure to do some research and see what's standard for your industry, right? So that you can be competitive. Then the next thing or second thing is going to be your niche. Who are you going to serve with your Zone of Genius as a consultant, right? And is it going to be small business owners? Is it going to be government? Is it going to be government contractors, state or federal? Is it going to be corporate? Is it going to be nonprofit, right? All these areas could be some place that you might want, a space you want to play in. So who is really looking for your expertise? Hi. Hey, Sarah. Thanks for joining. So let's talk about the third factor of your signature program if you're a consultant, and that's rules of engagement. So here's where I feel consultants really get into trouble. They really get into trouble. You have to have rules of engagement when you consult. I encourage my consultants to have the following at a minimum in their agreements, and that I've broken it down into 4 parts. So the first part, and I talked about this before, is discovery. So you don't know what you don't know. And unfortunately, you cannot take people's word for it. In order to be able to estimate like level of effort, meaning length of the engagement, how long is it going to take you? How much work is it actually? That's level of effort. You have to know what you're getting yourself into. Sometimes people have intellectual property. They don't want you to know certain things or they don't want to disclose certain knowledge. Offer to sign a non-disclosure agreement because I'm telling you, you will grossly underestimate all of your work, like all of it, if you don't do a discovery process as a consultant. Or you can also make your current proposal contingent upon higher and full-blown discovery, meaning if they have certain things they don't want, they only want the person that they're working with to know. They don't want to have that be public knowledge. If you're hired, then you have a contingency in there to say this price is going to fluctuate based upon discovery. So I think either way, you need to have it in there. The second is a proposal, right? In your rules of engagement. So I know consultants typically work by the hour, but if you're an expert in your field, you should have a minimum number of hours that it will take to deliver whatever it is that you're delivering. And that's going to be your base rate or your time container as a consultant, right? Discovery will tell you, right? This is how these things work together. Discovery will tell you if it needs to be increased or decreased, but this is where having a proper time container really comes into place, right? If you know on average, let's just say as an example, it takes you 60 days to teach and certify someone on a certain subject, that means that's the minimum length of your agreement is 60 days, right? Of course, companies are going to try to negotiate with you, but always stand firm in your offer, right? If you're offering, I'm making this up, some type of a HR certification, right? And you know it's going to take 60 days to impart the knowledge, certify the individuals, or do whatever change, why would you negotiate less than that? It's like, this is the base time. This is like the minimum amount of time I'm going to be at your organization or your company. That's your base time container, right? You deliver the proposal of what the company needs to do, right? And how long it will take you. And you should include options. So when I work with consultants to do their signature program, we really have to get down to the nitty gritty, right? Executives like options, right? I don't ever want you as a CEO, if you bring me one option, I'm probably going to say no. Like, because there's always more than one way to do something. And I typically, when we work with consultants, I'm like, you got to do like best case, worst case, most ideal case, right? Or like, or a middle ground, right? So like best case, then there's worst case, and there's a middle ground. Typically, like people do better with like three options, 2 to 3 options that they can choose from. They want to know that they're not boxed in to one thing. Now, if there's something that's really dire, then you got to say this is the option, right? This is the only option you can do. But I still would give three, like, okay, this is the only technique or thing you can do. Here's three options, and here's the result of choosing each option. I've done that before when contracting, so I think that that's really effective. Implementation is the next part of your rules of engagement. So the first rule of consulting is don't take a job that you have no intention of implementing or cannot implement. Your reputation is on the line, right? So, but if you get hired, right, if you get hired by the firm, you better be able to deliver. There are other parts of implementation, but that's really the foundation. Deliver what's promised to the letter of the contract. If it's in the contract, you are responsible for delivering that. If there is a change in scope, which happens quite often with consultants, meaning like the organization or company wants to give you more work, or they want to change the direction that they're going, always request a modification to the contract so that you're not like bound by something that you decided you're going to shift another direction, or they've added something to your plate that was not in the original purview when the contract was created. The fourth thing is metrics, right? So I'm a numbers girl, right? So metrics for success are important. You should have some already outlined for your signature program, whatever it is that you're going to be consulting around. There actually may be additional ones that you discover after discovery that could be important to the client, right? So you want to make that clear and plain that this is what a successful engagement is going to look like. And here's some additional metrics based upon your company. This is where consulting, if you're Yeah, I think I got cut out for just a second there on Facebook. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, thanks, Sarah. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's recap really quickly. Consultants typically work with organizations or companies to help improve business processes, structure, strategy, operations, profitability, etc. When I work with consultants, their signature program has four key components: their zone of genius, which I talk about quite a bit, which is their area of focus; their niche, their rules of engagement, which I break down into five parts: discovery, proposal, implementation, metrics, and follow up. And then the fourth thing is renewal, right? So those are the parts of your signature program as a consultant. And this is all a part of the Brand Builder Blueprint. So if you're ready to take your coaching or consulting business to the next level, create, launch your signature program, as well as the other offers in your product suite that attract your ideal client and create consistent income in your business, then you'll want to apply for my Brand Builder Blueprint program. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link to apply is in my bio. And then it's under Brand Builder Blueprint. And if you're watching me on Facebook, it's actually in the description of this live. So I want to check in again to see, since I got cut out there, if you guys had any questions. Oh, thanks, Sarah. Thank you so much. Sarah says this information is awesome. Thank you. Um, but yeah, guys, I got the question in the clubhouse room. What's the difference between a coach and consultant? So I decided, hey, let's talk about it. And if you are a coach calling yourself a consultant and vice versa, you may want to rethink about how you are marketing yourself, especially if you're a consultant calling yourself a coach, but you're really trying to play in the corporate space. Corporate folks recommend or recognize the consultant title a lot more. Like if someone's looking for a coach in the corporate space, they're looking for like probably executive coaching. So just think about those things as you are marketing yourself and thinking about what terminology does matter, right? Your ideal client. So who's your ideal client? So that's why I wanted to get on here and talk about that, just in case you were having difficulty deciding what to actually call yourself, so that when people are looking for you, they can find you, right? All right. So let's see, guys. Let's see. I don't think I see any other questions at the moment. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Appreciate you all for joining, and I will see you all soon. Take care.